right, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday game of the week on this July 24th, 2021. Game that we're playing is from July 24th, 1982, Saturday afternoon at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Houston Astros against the St. Louis Cardinals. Starting pitchers for both teams. For the Cardinals, it'll be right-hander Bob Forsch, and for the Astros, left-hander Bob Knepper. Look at their statistics in the 82 season. Forsch 15-9 with a 3.48, and Knepper had his problems, 5-15, 4.45. Let's go through the lineups that'll be used by both teams in this game. And we have for the Astros, Dickie Thon at short, Terry Poole in center, Ray Knight at first, Jose Cruz in left, Danny Heap in right, Garner at second, Howe at third, Louis Pujols catching, Knepper on the mound. For the Cardinals, Herr at second, Lonnie Smith in left, Keith Hernandez at first, George Hendrick is in right, Gene Tennis is the catcher, Tito Landrum is in center, Mike Ramsey's at third, and my score sheet's running out of room. Ozzy Smith is pitcher, and Bob Forsch on the mound. So let's see if there's a way I can get this to fit in more of the sheet. I'm sure there is, just a matter of doing it. Okay, so I think that's going to fit everything. As you can see in the real game that was played, the Cardinals won it 5-1. We're going to see if they can repeat history. Ballpark effects, and it seems like I may have messed up my focus here. Let's see. There we go. Ballpark effects here at St. Louis. Left-hander singles are 1-3. Right-hander singles are 1-12. Home runs 1-2 for both lefties and righties. So definitely pitcher's ballpark, to say the least. Okay. So I think we're just about ready to go. Got the red dice for the Cardinals, because if you're in St. Louis, got to have the red. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's their colors. Everything is red. All right, so Bob Forsch finishing up those warm-up tosses. And he'll be facing leadoff man Dickie Thon of the Astros. I will give updated standings next week on the next game of the week. And just so you know ahead, next game of the week, July 31st, will be north of the border in Toronto, as the Detroit Tigers take on the Toronto Blue Jays from Exhibition Stadium. But today, it is in Busch Stadium in St. Louis, a hot July afternoon, Saturday for baseball, the 24th of July. So Bob Forsch in there, ready now to take on Dickie Thon, and the game of the week is underway. Look at 6-7 against a righty. That's a ground ball, second base X, fielding check right away. Tommy Herr, second baseman, is a 2E12. 2 and a 9 is good. He will get to that. The E12 and the 8 is the only question. There is no 8. And a 2 and a 9 ends up being a G2, which is good enough with the bases empty. So Tommy Herr puts it away, throws over to Keith Hernandez for out number 1. Here's Terry Poole, right fielder. Or actually center fielder in this game. Played right field a lot, but center field in this game. 1-3, and that's a one-out walk to Terry Poole. And Poole has a 2-7 chance to see about getting a jump. Tennis is a +1, Forsch is a -1, so they wash. So if they get the jump, it'd be a 1-13 after you take away 2 for being held. It'd be a 1-13 if he can get it. Has to be a 2-7. And it is, so he will get the jump, and the total will be a 13. 1-13, he steals it. 20, he's thrown out. So how about that? The aged one, Gene Tennis, throws him out. Putting on the tag was Tommy Herr. The out goes 2-4 with the right-hander at the plate. So there's 2 up now and 2 down after the caught stealing for Ray Knight, first baseman. 2-4 for Ray Knight. That's a ballpark single check, which for a right-hander is a 1-12, but that's an 18. So he's going to line it to short, and that's going to be it for the Astros. Bob Forsch. Quick work of the Astros here in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. Houston nothing. St. Louis coming to bat. And the left-hander Bob Knepper Well, if memory serves me correctly about Bob Knepper, I think he got into some kind of trouble with the women's organization, made some sort of comment about feminism or something back in the day. I don't remember the whole story on it. Maybe somebody else does, but I just remember him having something to do with that. I don't know what he said or who he said it to, but I just kind of remember that's the one thing. That's pretty bad if that's the only thing you remember about Bob Knepper is that thing, but that's what sticks out in my head. All right, here is Tommy Herr. Oops, sewer dice. Let's re-roll the whole thing because the white die jumped ship. All right, 2-3 for her against a left-hander. 2-3 is a ground ball to first. And Ray Knight will take it to the bag himself. One away for Lonnie Smith, speedster. 4-7 against Knepper's card is a strikeout. So 2 down, 2 up and 2 down. That brings up Keith Hernandez. No sighting of Kramer or anybody else from the Seinfeld show in attendance, so Keith Hernandez should be safe. No George, no Newman, none of those people. 5-5, and that's going to be another strikeout. So Knepper strikes out the last 2 he faces, and 1-2-3 inning for him as well. We go to the second, no score from Busch Stadium. Forsh now will take on Jose Cruz, the left fielder, followed by Heap in right and Garner at second. Cruz 6-6 against the lefty for Forsh. Fly ball to center. One away. Easy doings there. Here's Danny Heap. Later go on to be with the Mets in their World Series season. 3-8 for Heap against a right-hander, and he draws a walk. So a second one-out walk. The first one was Poole, got caught stealing. Heap is an E-stealer. He's not going to go anywhere. He's not even going to be held. So no worries there. We'll roll the Havoc roll to check for balks or anything like that. Nothing's happening. Here's Phil Garner, infield looking to turn 2. 3-8 for Garner. Not going to do it. 1-9 is a home run. That's an 8. It's a 2-run homer for Phil Garner. So scrap iron goes deep down the left field line. All Lonnie Smith can do is look at it. And Bob Force can't believe it, but believe it, Bob. It is now 2-0 Houston on the Phil Garner home run. Mustache and all. All right, here's Art Howe. 2-12 for Howe. It's a ground ball to first, and Hernandez will take it to the bag himself. 2 down. That'll send up Louis Pujols. 5-10, and that's another ballpark single check. 1-12, but that's an 18, so he's going to line it to short. The inning's over, but damage done. 2-run homer from Phil Garner. Old scrap iron. Couple of years removed from his We Are Family days, and he gives the Astros a 2-0 lead for Bob Knepper to protect. And Knepper now will take on the professional hitter George Hendrick. 6-10, and that's a catcher X. That belongs to Mr. Pujols. He's a 3-2. 3 and a 2. That could be interesting. That could be an infield hit, perhaps. 3 and a 2 is a W/G, and that's a 10, and he is an E2. E2, there's no 10. W/G says, with no runners on base, batter squibs it in front of the plate, and the catcher throws him out. So he's able to get to it and throw him out. Would have been a wild pitch possibility had runners been on base, but they were not. So here's Gene Tennis. 2-3 for Tennis against the lefty is a ballpark home run chance. It's only a 1-2, and that's a 20. So nothing more than a deep fly to left for out number 2. And that brings up Tito. 1 if by Landrum. 2 if by C. 4-4. And that is a ground ball shortstop X. That belongs to the shortstop Dickie Thon, a 3E21. 3 and a 5. Should be okay with that. 3 and a 5 is a G3. He barely gets to it, but he gets to it indeed. 10 and an E21. There is no 10, so Dickie Thon makes a tough play, but throws out the slow-footed Landrum to end the inning. So after 2 complete, it's still Houston 2 and St. Louis nothing. And maybe somewhere Bob B is watching this, thinking the dice are rigged. I don't know. All right, so the pitcher is up. Bob Knepper, he's using pitcher hitting card number 1, whereas Bob Forsh will be using pitcher hitting card number 3. So pitcher hitting card number 1 it is for Bob Knepper against Forsh. 3-10, and that's a ground ball to third. Easy play there for Mr. Ramsey. One away. So one down, back to the top of the order for Dickie Thon. 3-4, and that's another ballpark single check, 1-12. This time it works. So a base hit for Dickie Thon. He's aboard, and he's definitely a threat to go. 3 through 6 would get him a jump. And he cannot get the jump, so he will stand pat. And Terry Poole, the batter. Forced to Poole, 1-8. Ground ball first base B, it's a fielder's choice. Keith Hernandez throws to Ozzy to cover for the force, but the return throw not in time. Poole is there. He got caught stealing last time. He's not going to get fooled again, as the Who would say. He won't get fooled again, so he will stay pat. Force, nothing on the havoc. Here's Ray Knight. 4-7, and that is a 1-6 chance for a single. That's a 17, which means he grounds it to first. And it says B, but in this situation, Hernandez will just take it to the bag himself. It's a much easier play, and the inning's over. So we go to the bottom of the third, still 2-0. As the Cardinals waiting for their offense to awaken. Right now they're 0 for 6. 6 up and 6 down. Here's Mike Ramsey, third baseman. He's in there against the lefty. Obrechfeld would normally be playing third, but with the lefty on the mound, they went to the switch hitter. Playing their percentages is Whitey Herzog. That is a 3-7 against a lefty, and that's a ground ball to short. Handled by Dickie Thon, one away. For Ozzy Smith. 2-9 against the lefty. He's going to fly to left. 2 away as Cruz puts it away. And now Forsh with pitcher hitting card number 3. But we're off the pitcher card. 6-6, and Forsh is a right-handed hitter. 6-6 is a 1-2 single, but that's an 8, which means he grounds it to third. And handled easily by Art Howe to end the inning. So 9 up and 9 down, retired by Nepper. Through 3, he is perfect. Can he hold on? That's the question. Astros lead 2-0. Go to the top of the fourth. Forsh wondering where the run support is coming from, because he doesn't see any. Here's Jose Cruz, but we still have 6 innings to go, so it's a long way to go. Forsh, 6-8 against a lefty. Bad news, 1-2 is a triple, but that's an 18, so it's only going to be a single for Cruz. He will single, but he is a threat to run. He needs a 2 through 7 or an 11 to get a jump. And he gets the jump, so he starts at the 15. Being held makes him a 13, and the catcher and pitcher wash, so it's a 1-13 just like before. Now Poole had a 1-13, got caught stealing. Can Tennis throw out another one? He can. Gene Tennis has done it again. He guns him down. This time put on the tag is Ozzy, and there's one away. So Astros better think twice about running on Mr. Tennis and his +1 arm, because he's got quick releases today. Here's Danny Heap. 111 for Heap. That's a ground ball to first. And since it's a C, we'll go ahead and do the old 3-1 put out. That was suggested by a couple people to not only X checks, but ground ball C's, make it a 3-1. So we'll go ahead and do that. Not that it matters, just for kicks. Here's Scrap Iron, hit the big home run his last time up. 1-5, and this time he's going to single. Solid single. And now that caught stealing was big. That would have been runners at the corners with 1 out had they not been caught stealing. Of course, if we've been successful, they've scored a run, so take your pick. Now Garner would be in the same boat, a 1-13. They're not going to get fooled again, as the saying goes, so he will stand pat. Nothing on the strategy. And that's going to bring up Art Howe. 1-6 for Howe, and he flies to left. Put away out there by Lonnie Smith, and the inning's over. Nothing doing for the Stros, but they still maintain a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Top of the order, Tommy Herr. Switch hitting second baseman. Grounded meekly to Ray Knight his first time. 6-2 against a switch hitter batting right-handed. Split chance, 1-15 is a single. That's a 12, so there goes the no-hitter, as somebody once said. Leadoff single for Tommy Herr. Now, Nepper is a +1. Pujols is a +1. That gives him a +2. So if he gets a jump, that would be a 17. So they're going to try it. 2 through 6, he gets the jump. He does not. So, and they're not going to try it on the other side. That would be 1 to 11. They don't want to attempt that without the jump. So he will stand pat, and Lonnie Smith, the batter. 6-5 against a righty. It's a fly to center. Hauled in out there by Terry Poole, 1 away. And here is Keith Hernandez. Nothing on the havoc. Nepper to Hernandez, 3-10. Ballpark single check, that's a 13, but he's only a 3 for a lefty, so that's going to be a liner to second. Out number 2. It'll be up to George Hendrick to get it done. He's capable. Nepper to Hendrick, 5-9, but it's off of the Nepper card, and that's a fly to center. All those hits in column 5, but he found the 5-9. Fly to center, Poole puts it away. And the inning's over. So we go to the 5th. Still 2-0 favor of the Stros. Force now. Stepping out. Made one mistake pitch, basically. That was the home run ball to Garner. Everything else he's pretty much taken care of. But sometimes one mistake is all it takes. Here's Pujols. 6-2 against a righty. That's a ballpark home run chance. Only a 1-2. That's a 3. He just missed a home run. And he did have normal power, but since that's a 3, just a long, loud fly to left that Lonnie Smith catches on the warning track. 1 away, and that brings up the pitcher, Bob Nepper. 1-10, and that's a strikeout. 2 down for Dickie Thon. Thon 1 for 2. 4-6-3. Fly ball left field X. That's Lonnie Smith. He's a 3-E10. 3 and a 4, that could be trouble. 3 and a 4 is going to be a single. That's an 11. He's an E10. And there's no 11 there, but it is a single. That ball is going to find an open spot on the turf. And a 2-out single for Dickie Thon. And he's going to be looking to get a jump. 3 through 6, he can get the jump. He does, but that's a 1, so it's chance of a pickoff. When you roll a 1, that means it's a chance for a pickoff. So we go to the secondary number, which is 14. 1-14, he gets back in safely. 15 or higher, he's going to be picked off. And he gets back just in time, but now he cannot get the jump. The jump has been taken away. So 2 outs, runner at first for Terry Poole. 1-8. 1-8 for Poole. And again, a lot of hits in column 1, but he found a ground ball first base. And again, since it's the last out of the inning, he's not going to go for the force at second. He's just going to, Hernandez is just going to step on the bag to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 2-0. Whitey Herzog waiting for his team's bats to come alive. He mustered 1 lone single in 4 innings, and that's it. Just 1 base runner. Here is Tennis. 1-7 against the lefty is a walk. And actually, I was watching a 1972 World Series broadcast, and I believe it was Kurt Gowdy, or maybe it was one of the other announcers, that said that the correct pronunciation, original was Tanachi, but they anglicized it to Tennis. But I believe it's, I guess from Italian roots or whatever, it's actually pronounced Tanachi, but everybody calls him Tennis. It's just kind of an accepted thing. Since he came over to the U.S., they just made it easier, but I just thought that was an interesting fact. All right. So Tennis is aboard. He has no threat to run. We will roll for the havoc for Nepper, but nothing's happening. So here's Tito Landrum. 1-4, and that's a ballpark single check again. Right-hander's a 1-12. That's a 7. It will be a single. It's only 1 star. So Tennis will stop at second base. But the Cardinals have a threat going first and second. Nobody out for Mike Ramsey, who's an excellent bunter. The only problem is got the bottom of the order coming up. So I don't know if you want to go there or not. I think you're going to have Ramsey swing away. Nothing going there. 3-9. And maybe we should have had a bunt. That's ground ball shortstop A. That's a 6-4-3 double play. Going to third is Tennis, but now there are 2 outs. And with first base open, they may elect to walk Ozzy Smith and face Forsh, or they could, let's see what they want to do. They're going to go ahead and pitch to Ozzy. They will pitch to Ozzy Smith and take their chances, hope they can get forced to lead off the next inning. 2-5 is a ground ball to short, and the gamble paid off. Now they'll make forced lead off the 6th. So we go to the 6th. Speaking of the 6th, we go there now. 2-0. Favor of the Stros. That 2-run homer from Garner in the 2nd inning has held up. Forsh now will face Ray Knight. .29 for Knight against a right-hander. Ground ball to 3rd, and Ramsey is there, 1 away. For Jose Cruz, who's 1 for 2 with a single. 6-9 against a lefty. That's a 1-6 and home run chance. 7-20 is a double. That is a 10. It is a double. A double for Jose Cruz. He is now 2 for 3, and he had weak power. So if he had gotten the home run chance on a 1-9, that would have merely been a single. But he has weak power against right-handers. So even though being a lefty, he has normal power against lefties. That's the way Strat rated him. Normal power against lefties, weak against righties. So he must have. I'm assuming that's the way he did it in the '82 season. All right, so Heap's aboard with 1 out. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Here is Danny Heap. Forced to Heap. 1-4. Ground ball, second base C. That'll move the runner to 3rd, but now there are 2 outs. 2 outs, and Scrap Iron Garner, who was 2 for 2. Home run and a single, so you got to be careful with him. I'm not going to intentionally walk him. That's a 1, so chance of a wild pitch. 1-5, and Bob Forsh will wild pitch a run in. Nope, it was blocked by Tennis or Tanachi, however you want to pronounce it. So Garner will step in. Forsh, 3-3 to Garner. That's a ballpark home run chance, only 1-2. That's a 10, so just a long fly ball to left to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 2-0. Astros, I was expecting more runs, particularly from the Cardinals, but they haven't wanted to cooperate necessarily. Now Bob Forsh, the pitcher, will lead off. He is pitch hitting card number 3. 1-8, and he's going to have a chance for a double here. That's an 8, but it's only going to be a single, but still 1-8, a split chance of 5-20 is a single. That is a single. So leadoff single for Bob Forsh, only the 2nd hit of the game for the Cardinals. Of course, he will not be held. And Tommy Herr, the batter, is Nepper. Nothing on the Havoc. Herr 1 for 2. 110 against the lefty, and that is a single. Single to left field, so that's going to put runners at 1st and 2nd with nobody out. For Lonnie Smith, if he was a decent bunter, I have him bunt, but he's not a very good bunter. So we're going to have him swing away. Hopefully he can avoid. I don't think he has too many double play chances on his card. 6-11. 6-11 is a strikeout, so Nepper gets him. Big strikeout there, 1 away for Keith Hernandez. Havoc roll again, nothing happening. Lefty on lefty, Hernandez is 0 for 2. 3-4, and that 3-4 over here. Ground ball, second base A. That's a 4-6-3 double play. And Nepper gets out of the jam as Hernandez chokes. And somewhere out there, Newman and Cosmo Kramer are yucking it up at the demise of Mr. Hernandez. All right, we go to the top of the 7th. This is the point of weakness inning for Forsh. Nepper's point of weakness inning was the 6th. He gave up 2 hits, so got to be careful. He's getting close to his fatigue level. And actually, he does bat 3rd this inning, so you're tempted to pinch hit for him. Although he does have a 2-0 lead, so I think you're going to keep him out there and just let him go and see what he can do. Here's Art Howe. He's 0 for 2. 3-6 for Art Howe, and he's going to ground to short. Easy play for Ozzy. 1 away for Louis Pujols. 1-8 for Pujols, and he struck him out. Not a lot of strikeouts for Forsh, but he gets one there. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, they're going to go ahead and let Nepper swing away. Actually, he's pitch hitting card number 1, not number 2. So it's a 3-9, and that's a ground ball to 3rd. Pitch hitting card number 2 on a 3-9 would have been a ground ball to 1st. So either way, it doesn't really matter. Inning's over. 7th inning stretch here at Busch Stadium. It is still Houston 2 and St. Louis nothing. So I will take a stretch with everybody else here at the 7th inning stretch. You can sing your Take Me Out to the Ball games. I'm going to stand up and take a quick little dipsy doodle stand up and see what I can do here to relax. And this is a good time, I think, in the 7th inning stretch. Since we're getting close to the bullpens and the pinch hitters being used, let's look at who both teams have available. For the Astros, their pinch hitters, they have 3 left-handed pinch hitters on the bench. They have Denny Walling, Harry Spillman, and Craig Reynolds. They have 2 switch hitters on the bench, Alan Ashby and Tony Scott, and 1 right-hander, Alan Nicely. That's who's on the bench for the Astros. In their bullpen, they have 1 left-handed reliever, and I had to print his card off the computer. That is George Capuzzello. They also have 4 right-handers, Frank LaCourte, Mike Lacoste, Randy Moffat, and the closer, Dave Smith. So that's who's available for the Astros, both on the bench and bullpen. Check the Cardinals for their supply of hitters, and they've got quite a few of them. 4 lefties, Ken Obrechfeld, Darrell Porter, Steve Braun, and Dane Orge. A switch hitter, Willie McGee, and Glenn Brummer and Gonzalez, 2 righties. And in the bullpen for the Cardinals, they have 1 left-hander, actually 2 left-handers. They have Dave LaPointe and Jim Cott. And they've got 4 right-handers, John Stuper, Jeff Lottie, Doug Baer, and the closer, Bruce Sutter. So those are the players I have available at my disposal when it comes time to pinch hit or make a pitching change. So if you wonder why I didn't use somebody, it could be they weren't on the roster at this particular point in time, July 24th. And I got the player rosters from 2 sources, from Strat-O-Matic PC and also from Diamond Mine computer game. So both of those confirmed who the available players were. There's one other marginal player for the Cardinals. I forget his name, but he had so few at-bats I didn't bother printing him out because I figured with all these other bench players you wouldn't even use him. All right, so Nepper now. His point of weakness was the 6. He gave up 2 hits, so if he gives up 2 more, a combination of 2 of hit and walks, he will be fatigued, so keep an eye on that. To pitch to Hendrick, he's 0 for 2. 410 against a right-hander. That is a ballpark single check. That's a 1, so that'll be a base hit for George Hendrick. Leadoff single. 1 more walk or single, and Nepper will be tired. And then those dot rolls will come into play. Tennis is up now. He's 0 for 2. 0 for 1 with a walk. Hendrick will not be held. Nothing going on there. Nepper to Tennis. 6-4. And that's a fly ball center field X. That is Terry Poole. He's a 3-E-4. He's a 2 in right and left field, but he drops to a 3 in center. 3-E-4. 3 and a 5, and that difference between the 2 and 3 could be huge. A 2 and a 5 is an F2. A 3 and a 5 is a single 2 stars. So there you go. He's kind of playing out of position. It's a single 2 stars. Hendrick will take third base, putting runners at the corners. Error check, that's a 13, and he is an E4. There is no 13, but it's a single 2 stars. Nepper is now fatigued, and you wonder if they have to go to the bullpen right here. Nepper may be running out of gas. Let's see. Landrum is 1 for 2. How do they want to play this? Nepper's trying to plead his case to stay in the game. And you know what? This is 1982, not 2021. We're not babying our pitchers. So Nepper will stay in the game. Nothing going on there. Tennis is not being held on. Nepper to Landrum. They're playing back for a double play if they can get it. 3-8. 3-8 is a strikeout. So there you go. You stick with Nepper and you see what happens. Struck him out. 1 away. That brings up Mike Ramsey. Now, do you pinch hit for Ramsey? Because he's not a very good hitter. I think you're going to pinch hit for Ramsey here. You're trying to strike when the iron's hot. So Obrechfeld will come in and play third after this. 2E14 for Obrechfeld. But we have a pinch hitter in between, and that pinch hitter is going to be a right-handed hitter. Actually, it's going to be the switch hitter, Willie McGee. We're going to go to Willie McGee to pinch hit. So McGee will pinch hit right here. Willie McGee in a big spot, and then Obrechfeld will take over at third base. So Willie McGee, the youngster, stepping in against Nepper. First and second, one out. I'm sorry, first and third, one out. Double play gets the Astros out of the inning, and that's what they're playing for. Nepper to McGee. 3-9 for McGee, and he struck him out. So McGee strikes out in the pinch. And just for kicks and giggles, if you want to know what Mike Ramsey would have done on a 3-9, Mike Ramsey on a 3-9 would have hit into a double play to end the inning. So I guess hindsight is it's a good thing we did pinch hit for him because the inning's still going. And now here's Ozzy Smith with 2 outs and 2 on. Havoc roll for Nepper, nothing happening. Ozzy trying to get it done. 2-9, and he can't. It's a fly to left. That's going to end the inning. So Nepper pitches out of it. 7 shutout frames for Bob Nepper. We go to the 8th. It is still 2-0 Houston. Now Nepper may or may not come back for the 8th. We'll have to wait and see. Bob Forsch is set to lead off next inning for the Cardinals, so they may let him try to pitch this inning, or they may go to the bullpen. How do they want to play it? Let's see. He's not tired. He has nothing against his fatigue, so they're going to keep him out there because he has not given up anything since reaching his fatigue, so they're going to let him keep going. However, the bullpen is loosening for the Cardinals. They do have left-hander Jim Cott and right-hander Doug Bayer. Double barrel action in the Cardinal bullpen, just in case. Here's Dickie Thon. He's 2 for 3. 2-8 for Dickie Thon. He's going to single. So right on cue, base hit. 3 for 4 now for Dickie Thon. They're going to tempt fate and try to steal again. Of course, he has a much better chance if he gets the jump. 3 through 6, he gets the jump. He does get the jump. So that becomes a 19. Held makes him a 17. Pitcher and catcher wash. So it's a 1-17 for a stolen base. And he's in there. Stolen base for Dickie Thon. So an insurance run is on second base with nobody out. And now you got left-handers Poole and Knight and Cruz. So 2 out of the next 3 are, and 3 out of the next 4 are left-handed. That's going to be all for Bob Forsch. He's going to exit as Whitey Herzog has made his trek to the mound. That's going to be all for Bob Forsch. He goes 7+. And the runner on base is his responsibility. And we go to the veteran left-hander Jim Kitty Cott. He's coming on to pitch. Try to get Forsch out of the jam. In 1982, he was 5-3, 4.08 ERA, 2 starts and 2 saves. And he's going to be facing these left-handers, see what he can do with them. Poole the batter. First the havoc roll for Cott, nothing happening. Lefty on lefty to Poole. 4-7, and that's a strikeout. So Cott comes in and strikes out Poole. Out number 1. Here's Ray Knight. Havoc roll for Cott, nothing going on. Cott to Knight, 3-5, and that's a walk. So Ray Knight will walk to put runners at first and second. It does set up a double play. But now you got Jose Cruz, who was singled and doubled his last couple of times up. That was against a righty, though, not a lefty. So we'll see. Cott's going to stay in there to face Cruz. That's a 2. Chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's a chance for a balk, but he has no balk rating, so we drive on. Lefty on lefty, Cott to Cruz. 6-2 to a lefty, struck him out. Big strikeout there for Cott. Not really a strikeout pitcher, but he struck out 2 in a row. And now here's Heat. Now the question is, I think the Astros are going to go to the bench here because they not only will they want a better right-handed hitter, but you get a better defender if you're bringing in somebody else in left field. Or in right field, rather. So they're going to go to the bench and bring in switch-hitting Tony Scott. He's a switch hitter, and he's also a better defender in right field. So Tony Scott will come in and pinch hit for Heat, and he will also stay in the game to play right field. So Scott in a big situation, and defensively he's a 2-0 and an E7, so a lot better than what Heat was. So Scott, the batter, switch hitter, so it doesn't matter if you bring a righty in, it's not going to affect him. So Cott to Scott. 5-11 against a switch hitter batting right-handed. That is a ballpark home run chance. It's only a 1-2 though. 17 deep fly to left, and the inning's over. So Jim Cott gets him out of the jam. He's going to go 1 inning. And that's going to be all for Cott because he is scheduled to lead off next inning. So Force gets out of it. 2 runs allowed in 7 innings. Caught 1 inning and nothing. But they can't figure out the offense of Bob Knepper to help them. So now we will go to the bench for a Cardinal pinch hitter. Is Knepper coming back is the question. You know what? I think they're gonna bring in a new pitcher for Knepper. I think he's given them 7 shutout innings. I think that's more than they could ask for. So they're going to the pen, and they're going to bring in right-handed reliever Randy Moffat, former closer of the Giants, I believe, back in the 70s. But in 82, he's 2-4 with a 3.02 ERA and 3 saves. So Randy Moffat is coming on. And let's see who they're going to bring in as a pinch hitter. It'll be a left-hander since we got the righty on the mound. So it's going to be professional hitter, pinch hitter type Dane Orge. Dane Orge is going to pinch hit. He's going to pinch hit for Jim Cott. And then we'll see who the Cardinals bring in the 9th. It could be Doug Bear, or if they tie the game, it could be, or take the lead, it could be Bruce Sutter. So we shall see. Orge pinch hitting here against Moffat, bottom of the 8th, 2-0 Stros. 2-4 for Orge against a right-hander. He grounds it right back to Moffat. And a weekly job of pinch hitting there by Orge. Very disappointing for him. So back to the top of the order for Tommy Herr. He's 2 for 3. 5-10. Switch hitter batting left is a ground ball shortstop X. That is going to be Thon. He's a 3 E21. 3 and a 20 is good. E21 and a 12. E21. There's no 12. It's a good play for Dickie Thon. 2 down. It's going to bring up Lonnie Smith. 3-3 to Smith, and he grounds it right back to Moffat to end the inning. 1-2-3, 8th inning from Moffat. He's going to go 1 inning, and that's going to be it. They're going to bring in Dave Smith after this to try to clinch it. So, new pitcher for the Cardinals will be Doug Bear. Since they're trailing 2-0, they're not going to use Bruce Sutter in that kind of situation. They're going to use Doug Bear. And he's going to face Garner, Howe, and Pujols. So Doug Bear on the 82 season, 5-3, 2.55 ERA, and 8 saves. So definitely no chump change there. Just not Bruce Sutter, but who is. All right, so Phil Garner steps up. And if anybody gets on base and we get to a 4th hitter, it'll be the pinch hitter for Moffat. All right, Doug Bear to Phil Garner, top of the 9th, 2-0 Astros. A 2-run homer from Garner has stood the test of time and has held up all the way through to the 9th. Bear, 5-2. Ballpark home run chance. Again, only a 1-2. A deep fly to left for Garner. 1 away. So that'll bring up Art Howe. 6-8. And that's a walk to Art Howe. 1 out walk. Art Howe will not be going anywhere. Bring up Pujols, the catcher. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Bear to Pujols. 5-5, and that is a strikeout. So Pujols out on strikes for 2 down. And now we need a pinch hitter for Houston, as they'll be going to their bench and seeing who they have available. They got a bunch of lefties, and it's going to be Denny Walling, I believe, or will it be somebody else? Let's see who's got the better average. Actually, Harry Spillman has a better average than Denny Walling does. So Harry Spillman, a 279 hitter, will be in to pinch hit. Harry Spillman. He will pinch hit here with 2 outs in the 9th, and Art Howe at first base. So Harry Spillman trying to get something going here to extend the lead against Mr. Bear. 3-8, and he's going to line out to second, snagged by second baseman Tommy Herr, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. Still 2-0 Astros. And it'll be Dave Smith, their closer, that will come in for Houston. Dave Smith on the 82 season, 5-4, 3.84 ERA, and 11 saves. He has not yet. He wasn't. I guess they were doing it by committee because Moffat had 3 saves, and 11 is just not very many saves. But maybe they didn't have that many to begin with. LaCourty had 7, so more like by committee, I suppose. But they're going to go with Dave Smith. So Dave Smith is on, and he'll be facing the heart of the order: Hernandez, Hendrick, and probably a pinch hitter for Tennis. I think we're going to have a pinch hitter for Tennis, maybe Darryl Porter. Dave Smith. So Hernandez steps to the plate, down 2-0. Hernandez is 0 for 2. I'm sorry, 0 for 3. So he's trying to get rid of the ghost of Kramer and Newman. 3-10, and he doesn't do it. It's a ground ball to first. Easy play for Ray Knight. 1 down, and here's George Hendrick, professional hitter that he is. 1-7, and he's going to come through. 6 is a single, no triple. It will be a single for George Hendrick. He is aboard. Mr. Hendrick is aboard, and now we'll get a pinch hitter for Gene Tennis, as they want a lefty in there. So let's see who they've got. They've got Steve Braun. They got Darryl Porter. Steve Braun's actually the better hitter. So Steve Braun's going to pinch hit. And if it does go extra innings, they do have either Porter or Glenn Brummer to play the catching position. But right now it is Steve Braun who's in there to pinch hit. Trying to keep this thing going for the Cardinals. He is aboard. He's got a great column 3 against righties. Dave Smith with the havoc. Nothing happening. Tying run is at the plate with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. 3-6, and that's a double. Pinch hit double for Steve Braun. Hendrick will stop at third base because his run does not mean a thing, and you don't want to take a chance getting him thrown out. So runners are at second and third with 1 out, and Tito Landrum, the batter. Landrum, pretty good hitter, so you're not going to take him out. He's going to stay there. Astros now will play the infield back because they'll give a run to get the out. Smith in dire straits, though. Nothing happening on the havoc. Here is the pitch to Landrum. Smith to Landrum, 1-4. Ground ball, second base C. That'll plate the run. But now there are 2 outs as Hendrick scores. And Braun goes to third base. So Braun is at third. I don't know if a runner at third, whether it would be any good to put a pinch runner in at this point or not. I think it's kind of you're behind the times now. So I don't think it's really going to matter with 2 outs. But Landrum gets the RBI. Now here brings up Ken Obrechfeld. Remember, he came in for Ramsey after McGee pinch hit for him. So Obrechfeld is your number 7 place hitter. And he's got a big spot here. Tying runs at third with 2 outs. It is 2-1 now. Astros over the Cardinals. Dave Smith trying to hang on. A wild pitch or balk ties the game. But nothing on that. So here we go. Smith to Obrechfeld. 3-10, and that's a ballpark single check. That's a 2. It's a single. It's only a 3 for lefties, but that's a 2. Obrechfeld gets the single, and the Cardinals have tied the game. And somewhere, if he's watching, Bob B is celebrating, I guess, knowing that the dice are not rigged after all. So tie game. Dave Smith blows the save. Maybe Astros fans are wondering if it's rigged or not. I don't know. Dave Smith having his issues, giving up 2 runs now on 3 hits. He is actually now fatigued, but they're going to see if he can finish the inning. Obrechfeld not a threat to run, but we are tied at 2. Smith to Smith, 6-6, switch hitter batting left, struck him out to end the inning. But we are going 2 extras. Free baseball here on Saturday afternoon from Busch Stadium. We are tied at 2 apiece as Dave Smith could not hold the lead. Now Doug Baer still in there. He only faced 4 batters, so he's still good to go. He is scheduled to lead off next inning in the bottom half of the 10th, so he will stay out there to pitch. And the Astros have the top of the order, and they will go to a new pitcher in the bottom of the 10th, depending on who it is. If they got the lead, it might be Frank LaCourty. If they don't have the lead, it might be Mike Lacoste, who's more of a long reliever. We shall see. See how it plays out. Top of the 10th, tied at 2. Free baseball on the game of the week. Might need extra Cracker Jack. Bear to Thon. 6-12, and that is going to be a fly ball left field X. And the left fielder for the Cardinals is Lonnie Smith. He's a 3 E10. 3 and a 16, he'll get to that. E10 and an 8 is no problem. So Lonnie Smith makes the catch, 1 away. The only problem with these score sheets, it only goes to 10 innings, so I may have to keep score on the rest on a separate piece of paper if we go much further than the 11th. I can do 11 innings because I can cut these in half, but if we get to the 12th, I'm going to be in trouble. I prefer not to get to the 12th. I prefer to have this thing resolved by then. Here's Terry Poole. 6-8, and that is a fly to center. Hauled in out there by the center fielder, Tito Landrum. 2 down now for Ray Knight. Bear to Knight, 1-6. Knight says, not so fast, my friend. That's a 10. That's a double for Ray Knight. A 2-out double for Ray Knight. And it's up to Jose Cruz now. Now, first base is open if they want to try to do something with it. But then you got Tony Scott right behind him, so I don't think you're going to walk Cruz. Let's check the bench for the Astros. Do they have anybody can run better than Ray Knight? I think I can run better than Ray Knight, but we'll see. Ray Knight's an 11. They do have Denny Walling, who runs as a 13. Yep, they're going to bring in Denny Walling to pinch run for Ray Knight. He's also a slightly better defensive player. So Denny Walling is coming in to run for Ray Knight. He runs as a 13 as opposed to Knight being an 11. So Denny Walling, and then he'll, of course, stay in the game to play first base. But he's got a little bit better chance of scoring on a single from Jose Cruz. Walling is a 3E13 as opposed to a 4E17. So Walling's the one at second base now. So he will have to be held as they try to keep him from getting a big jump. Bear now to Cruz. 1-8, and it's a ground ball back to Bear, and so all that for naught as Bear gets out of it. He throws 2 innings of shutout relief, and he will be pinch hit for as he's going to lead off the bottom of the 10th. So the Astros now will bring out long relief pitcher, I guess you want to call him long relief pitcher, Mike Lacoste. He was 6-6 with a 2.90 ERA. Did have 8 starts, but he also has a relief rating. And he's not, according to the usage, he was not a recent starter or set to be a recent starter. So he will be in there. And we need a pinch hitter for the Cardinals. And the pinch hitter for the Cardinals is going to be Steve Braun. Oh, we already used Steve Braun, didn't we? And in fact, I forgot to put in a new catcher, didn't I? Let me do that. Darryl Porter is the new catcher. I forgot to do that. So let's see, because Braun got the double. So yeah. All right. So Porter is your new catcher. He's a 3, a 0, E4, T6, P2. So this is Porter now. Catcher. So Darryl Porter is your new catcher. So he can't be used as a pinch hitter. So we got to go to somebody else. Let's see who else they can use. They've already used Braun. They've already used Orge. A couple of good lefties. They've already used McGee. So they only have righties on the bench. In fact, they only have 2. They got Julio Gonzalez and Glenn Brummer. Those are the only 2 remaining on the bench for the Cardinals. And the higher average belongs to Julio Gonzalez at 241, whereas Brummer's 234. So Julio Gonzalez will get the call to pinch hit to lead off the bottom of the 10th. It'll be Gonzalez, followed by her and Lonnie Smith. Against Mike Lacoste, bottom of the 10th, tied at 2. Astros thinking this game should have been over long ago, but the Cardinals had other ideas. Particularly Ken Obrechfeld with that big single he had to drive in the go-ahead run, or both runs, I should say. So here we go. Costa Gonzalez. We got a 3-7. Ground ball to short. 1 away. Gonzalez is out of there. Here's Tommy Herr. Lacoste. 4-12. Herr switch hitter batting left. 4-12 is a walk. So Tommy Herr, a 1-out walk. And this is a situation where you definitely would try to get a jump here and get in scoring position. Lacoste is a 0 hold. Pujols is a +1, so if he gets the jump, that would be a 16. So definitely going to try to get it. 2 through 6 will get him the jump. And he gets the jump. So 1 to 16, and he is safe. 1, he is safe, but now we're checking for a throwing error. And for Pujols, his T rating is a 4. Nope, not going to be thrown away as it's saved by Dickie Thon, but the stolen base is successful. And Herr, with good speed, runs at a 16. He is at second base with 1 out. He is the winning run. And they are having to hold him on. Here is Lonnie Smith. You're not going to walk Lonnie Smith because you've got Keith Hernandez next. So Lacoste going to pitch carefully to Smith. 2-9, and he struck him out. That's pretty careful, I would think. 2 down. And now you got Keith Hernandez, and you're not going to walk Hernandez because you got George Hendrick right behind him. So it's going to be up to Hernandez. And now Kramer and Newman are kind of peering over the railing to see if Hernandez can get that hit or not. Lacoste with the habit. Nothing happening. Lacoste to Hernandez, game on the line. 110, ballpark single check. For a lefty, it's 1 to 3, but that's a 16, so he's going to line it to second. And we are going to the 11th inning. So 11th inning we go. New pitcher is required for the Cardinals as a pinch hit for Baer. So let's look at the bullpen, see who's left. They've used Baer and Cott. So they've got LaPointe, Stuper, Lottie, and Suter. You're no longer in a save situation, so you may as well go with Bruce Suter. I mean, there's no sense holding back. Not going to pull a Buck Showalter here. So Bruce Suter it is. He will be on to pitch the 11th inning. Bruce Suter, he'll be facing Scott, Garner, and Howe. Sound like a Three Stooges law firm. Scott, Garner, and Howe. We Cheatham and Howe. Something like that. All right, here is Tony Scott facing Bruce Suter. Split-fingered fastball, 5-7. Gets the switch hitter batting left. Is a ground ball to first, and Keith Hernandez puts it away easily. 1 down for Scrap Iron, who's been a thorn in their side. He's homered and singled, but they've got him to fly to left twice in a row. Suter, 5-9, and he's going to strike him out. So no problem for Mr. Suter. 2 down now for Art Howe. He's been rather quiet. He is 0 for 3 with a walk. Suter, 1-6 to Howe is a fly to left and put away by Lonnie Smith. An easy 1-2-3 11th inning for the right-hander Hall of Famer Bruce Suter. And now we go to the bottom of the 11th. Chance for the Cardinals to try to walk it off here and keep me from having to use another score sheet. It'll be Hendrick, Porter, and Landrum due up against Lacoste. 6-10 for a right-hander. Fly ball center field X. That center fielder is Poole. He's a 3 and an E4. 3 to 17 is good all day long. E4 and a 16 though could be a trouble. E4 and a 16, and it is. E4 and a 16 for a center fielder is a 2-base error. He is an E4, and that is a 16. So it's a 2-base error. E8. And that puts Hendrick on second base, the winning run with nobody out. They will intentionally walk Darryl Porter because his run doesn't mean anything, and they want to set up a force play. And that will take them to Tito Landrum. So runners at first and second. Landrum is a B bunter. He could bunt and try to get him over to second and third, and I think he will. So he's going to take a chance and try to bunt. He becomes a C bunter. Oh, 12 could be trouble. Could be trouble. C and a 12 on the sheet here for bunting. 12 and a C is a double play. It says here, batter pops out into a double play. Lead runner is doubled off. Wow. What a bad time for that to happen. The fielder is a white die is a 4, so that means it went to the first baseman Walling. So he pops to Walling, and then Walling fires to second to double off Porter, or double off Hendrick rather. It's going to go 3 and a 3-6 double play. So now 2 outs and the runner at first is Porter, and that's it. So big chance there taken away by that double play. Probably shouldn't have bunted, but you know, how many times do you roll a 12? So just the way it goes. Lacoste to Obrechfeld. Cardinals still win it. They're still batting. 2-8. And look at this. 1-5 is a home run. 6-20 is a double. That's a 12. That's a double to center field. Now the question is, can Porter score? They have no other runners to run for him because Glenn Brummer is the only one left on the bench. So we got to look at Darryl Porter's run rating. And his run rating is an 11. There are 2 outs. That gives him a 12. So he's got a 12. And the double went to center field. Poole is a 0 arm. So 1-12. He was not being held either. So that makes him, it gives him an extra boost. That makes him a 13. Actually, you get 2 for 2 outs. My bad. You get 2 extra for 2 outs. That makes him a 13. Not being held makes him a 14. So it's a 1-14. He can score and the game is over. And he's in there safely. Porter slides in, beats the tag from Pujols, and the Cardinals win it in 11 innings by the score of 3-2. 3-2. Cardinals win it. Bruce Sutter the winner, and Mike Lacoste the loser. So maybe somewhere Bob B is happy now as Bruce Sutter gets the win. They walk it off. After that disappointing double play, looked like the inning was going to be over, but Ken Obrechfeld had other ideas. His double took care of it, and Porter, hustling and chugging all the way, was able to score from first base. And that's going to do it from here. The Astros defeat the Cardinals. I know it's kind of messy here. I'll just do it this way, 3-2. Make this the run column. 3-2, I'm not worried about the rest. They won the real game 5-1. This game they win 3-2 in 11 innings. Cardinals pull it off, and they get the win. And the hero is Ken Obrechfeld. Ken Obrechfeld, the star of the game. Mr. Obrechfeld, he had a big single in the 9th after coming in for Ramsey. He had a big single in the 9th, and then he gets the game-winning double here. So Ken Obrechfeld, the star for this one. Now, next week, game of the week takes us to north of the border. We'll be in Toronto, where the Detroit Tigers and Jerry Uger will face Jim Gott and the Toronto Blue Jays. That's what's going to happen next week, on July 31st. But here on July the 24th, man of the hour, Ken Obrechfeld, is the hero for the Cardinals as they win it in 11 innings, 3-2 over the Astros. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of NBC Game of the Week, Strat-O-Matic 1982. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road.